for
Yep.
they started both drives in plus territory.
Yep.
First, I think they had a return that was about 20, 30 yards that put them across midfield, and then obviously that onside recovery.
Yeah.
So they haven't had necessarily a drive where
Yeah.
they've had to drive from the 25 down the field. First drive they were methodical and able to run the ball down the field, but Mayo has some momentum after their touchdown run, and maybe they can harness that momentum into a little bit better defense. So it's been an exciting game so far. Still 4 minutes left in the first quarter, and it's already 16-14. Looks like we're going to be in for a very, very high-scoring night.
Yeah, and sorry for the technical difficulties. We welcome folks to the YouTube Live. I'm Luke Young, joined by Latif Love. Sorry for the technical difficulties once again. Just to recap the game for you a little bit, we've had some penalty struggles for Manual, but they're still up 16-14 after two dynamic touchdown drives. We saw a deep pass on the last one, a deep pass touchdown play by quarterback Tyree Porter, and then on the first play, a big run by the running back for the Rams. And on the other side of the ball, we saw U-High get a buffed onside kick and two touchdowns and a missed two-point conversion for them. And we'll see Cunningham receive the ball, the dynamic senior receiver who gets 12 yards on that play. So we're once again sorry about those technical difficulties. Cunningham, I believe that's his first catch of the game. The number one receiver for this Pioneer offense last year and this year. He'll be moved all around, the coach said. Last year, mainly an outside receiver. And we'll see Kirby drop back, the quarterback for the Pioneers, and he will throw it out of bounds. Nothing on the look there. Kirby, the junior quarterback, the 6'4" basketball star for U-High, is also the QB1 for their football team. And they will have a 2nd and 10 with 2nd and 10 with 4:40 to go in the first quarter. So a back and forth game so far here, folks. Kirby will throw it up to Cunningham. Cunningham, who catches it again, turns downfield for a nice little 13-yard play there for the Pioneers. Cunningham, 69 catches last year, 1,235 yards, 16 touchdowns with 95 yards per game. An absolutely dynamic receiver on the outside, one of the best receivers in his conference, if not the best. And Kirby will hand it off to, he'll keep it. And that same play, Cunningham gets on the outside, and I don't know if anybody's going to catch him, and he gets brought down after a big play. We've seen that play 4 times this game, that little fake. Cunningham's just waiting there as Kirby is rolling to the outside, and he's been open every single time.
Yeah, and they were good not to get an illegal forward pass on that one.
Yeah.
A defender staying behind the line of scrimmage, or I'm sorry, the wide receiver staying behind the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
And we know you guys may have not seen that the first time they ran that, but that's the most success they had with it all game.
Yeah, and Cunningham catches it once again, takes the hit, but brings the ball in. And that's a sign of a great receiver. If you can take a big hit like that and still keep your hands on the football, you are a great receiver. And we haven't really seen Cunningham get into much action before this possession. So for the folks just tuning in, it's been a lot of the run game for U-High so far, but Cunningham has gotten the ball every single play. And here's Lynch, and he'll go all the way in for the touchdown. Number 44, Rhett Lynch, the RB1 for the U-High Pioneers, will score the touchdown to bring the score to 20-16 with 3:37 to go in the first quarter. They already have 20 points. So we're in for a high-scoring game.
Yeah, this game I see the 50s for each team if it continues to go like this. U-High with a excellent response to Mayo's scoring drive, leaned on their best players on that one, as they have been all night.
Yep.
Cunningham, Lynch, and Kirby, that trio has been dynamic all night. And Cunningham was much more impactful than he has been. Manuel had did a good job bottling him up in the first few drives. But when you move him around all outside, get the ball in his hands, and let him be a playmaker, he can be dynamic. And you saw that on that drive.
Yeah, we knew it wouldn't be too long before he touched the ball in a dynamic place, and he got it a few times there. And we saw Lynch finish off the drive, and 2-point conversion is a success for the Pioneers. And we've got a highlight package just to catch you guys up for what you missed. So bringing it back a little earlier in this quarter, we see Lynch take it on a big run here. This is what really broke it open for the Pioneers, is that nice little 14-yard run. And this was the touchdown on that drive, as we see a good play there with Lynch. Another touchdown, his first of the game. We just saw him get his second. And then on the 2-point conversion, we saw a failed 2-point conversion. Cunningham thought he got his right foot down, but the ref called him out of bounds on that 2-point conversion. And then a big play there from Owen Kirby, doing that on the run for U-High on that same possession we just saw. And then the touchdown right here. Excuse me, this is the great defensive play by the Rams, and we'll bring you back to the live game. That was just a little catch-up for highlights for U-High, as Manuel will take the ball here. 22-16 is your score, 3:34 to go in the first quarter. And it seems like everyone's having trouble with kickoffs tonight. I think they're going to kick that one off again for a reason I don't know. But it seems like kickoffs have been a struggle so far for both of these teams.
And Manuel has already suffered a onside kick loss in this game, which has been the big difference between the game. This is why U-High is up by 6. Let's see if they can recover on this one and continue their offensive onslaught. I know they're down by 6 for you guys watching, but that's because they lost possession to an onside kick. When they've been able to recover the kickoff, they have been extremely successful in their offense. Through the ground, and on that last possession, we saw a 58-yard pass through the air.
And the kick is received and brought down right away on that 20-yard line. Great special teams play right there from the Pioneers. So the Rams will take over on the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
And they started around this mark last drive, a few big runs, and then that 58-yard pass on 4th and 6. Manuel has been super aggressive, 2-point conversions, going for it on 4th down. They know they have to score points to stay in this game, and so they're not trying to go a possession without getting at least 3. Let's see if they keep the mentality on this drive at that 25-yard line.
Yeah, the struggle for Manuel in the past, we've got a timeout here. Manuel will take their 3rd timeout of the half, so all 3 timeouts used in this first quarter. But Manuel in the past only won 1 game last year, and their struggle has never been offense. Clearly, what we've seen from this game, their struggle is not offense. It's always just been when that offense struggles to create points, their defense can never hold them up. And that's what we saw last year, especially when these two teams played last year, with U-High winning 64-26. It's been the defense for the Rams that has been the struggle.
Manuel has historically had playmakers on this team. They've had guys that can go up and get the ball. I remember a few years back, I'm blanking on his name, but they had a really tall receiver who was really dynamic in my first year working for Clutch. And they also had Amani Breelove, who transferred from Manuel a few months ago, actually, right before the season started, transferred to a prep school in Arizona. That's obviously a big loss.
Yeah.
Because he's a heck of a player.
Oh, and a fumble on the snap here, and Tyree Porter will go down after a loss of looks like about 10 or 15 yards, a 15-yard sack on a bobbled snap.
And that's likely to be a drive killer. It's really hard to recover from a sack like that. And at some points in this game, even though the score is only 16-22, it felt like Manuel has had a lack of focus.
Yeah,
they've had
for
penalties.
Sure.
They lost the onside kick, and then the fumble snap right there. And another
fumble snap. This could be a safety, folks. And Porter will run out of bounds after losing yards.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the center or on the quarterback. I probably think it's on the center.
Going on. Yeah.
It's probably on the center there, I would assume.
Yeah.
And I think that the center did just come out of the game. A lineman did come out of the game. I don't know if it was the center.
Yeah.
But, again, as I was saying, it's just a few moments in this game where it feels like Manuel has lost focus. Attention to detail has been a struggle. It was in penalties, and that was just back-to-back lost snaps, fumble snaps, and then the lost onside kick. And they had momentum. Their offense had been clicking on all cylinders so far this game, and now they're on 3rd and 29.
Yep, working out of their own end zone here. We'll see what Porter does here, and he'll just take a QB sneak, try to get his – and it's going to be a safety, I think. And a safety here for the U-High Pioneers.
I think they may have
said it's a safety. He might have just had no gain, so they're saying it's not a safety.
He got out of the end zone.
Yeah, so they're just saying stop a forward progress. So they mark him where he was, and he was out of the end zone. And there's no shot that they go for it on 4th down here. So I think we're going to see the punting team come out.
It's going to be a ridiculously hard punt here.
Yeah.
And you're backed up in your own end zone with obviously a number of defenders trying to block the punt and score a touchdown here.
Yeah.
So let's see if they can make light of what has been a disastrous drive for the Rams.
A good snap and a pretty solid punt, honestly, for the circumstances, and the ball was spin out of bounds.
And takes a U-High bounce back towards the end zone. Honestly, considering what that drive could have been after that sack, you got to take a little bit of optimism that you were able to safely convert that punt. A pretty good punt there from their quarterback, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a bad result if you're the Rams. You're escape to safety. Maybe your defense can do some work here, get a stop. Here with just under a minute, 58 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 22-16 is your score. Pioneers, can they score before this quarter ends? And Cunningham is wide open and caught in the middle of the field, and a touchdown on the first play. Cade Cunningham on a nice little route was wide open, and Kirby hit him. And that is a touchdown for the Pioneers as their offense continues to click, and Cunningham gets his first touchdown of the year after 16 last year.
Cunningham, for the last, 8 plays, has been clicking wherever he is lined up on the field, whether in the backfield, out wide, in the slot, has been impactful for this U-High offense. And it seems like he's in the groove now. It seems like U-High's offense in the groove now as they go for this point conversion and convert it to bring their point total to 30 points in a 14-point, 2-touchdown lead. 30 points in the first quarter.
We might see 60.
That's being a little conservative at this point. They're on pace for, we think, 120 points at the moment right now. It was a super long first quarter because
that was a long
of
first
penalties and a lot of running the ball.
Yep.
And also both teams are scoring pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So not a lot of time was going off the clock. So again, we came into this game really talking about how Manuel has to stay in this game is with their defense. We knew they were going to be able to score points.
Yep.
And their offense outside of one drive has been potent today. But right now what's killing them is literally just mental mistakes.
Yeah.
Penalties, lost kickoff, and fumble snaps. Those attention to detail things, the little small things that are not the biggest thing you think about when you think about a game, has come back to bite them in a big way, and it has them down 2 touchdowns now.
And on this time, the returner will just go down. And that was 45 minutes of real time so far in this first quarter. So one of the longer first quarters I've seen due to what we've said, the penalties, the quick drives, and we've seen a lot of points so far. So we'll see if Manual can respond on this offensive possession. You're right. Potent is a great word for their offense to describe how it's been outside of the one drive that we just saw. And we'll see if Porter can make some magic here. We've seen him do it already this game, and he will keep it, and brought down after about a 4-yard gain for the Rams.
I would like to see Porter and their offense get back to it in the air.
Yep.
They had that 58-yard touchdown pass, but outside of that, they haven't really tried to throw the ball much whatsoever. There's been a lot of QB keepers and running plays. I want to see if they can test this new U-High secondary a bit more.
Yeah, we've seen some struggles from them so far, so maybe testing is the right option. And I talked to the Manual coach over the week, and he said he always feels confident if we have Tyree Porter touching the ball every play. And so we'll see if that confidence is put in the right player here on this offensive possession, responding to some adversity as the first quarter clock will run out. And your first quarter score is 30-16 in favor of the Pioneers, and we'll stay on the broadcast for this first quarter break.
We are on pace for a 120-64 score so far. High flying first half from both teams.
Yeah, for sure.
Yet U-High still has a 2-touchdown lead.
Yep.
As we head into the second quarter, and if this pace continues like this, we will be here until probably about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, we're in for a late one, but I think the real story of that first quarter has been the dynamic play from the receiver, Cade Cunningham. I know that we've talked about him quite a bit, but that's deserved. Had an absolute unbelievable junior season, and he's starting off with his senior season with an absolute great first quarter. So we'll see if he can continue his dominance as the players will run back out onto the field for the start of the second quarter. U-High will have it 2nd and 8 on their own on the Manual 39. Excuse me. Manual will have it 2nd and 8 on the U-High 30 or on their own 39. As Porter will receive the snap here. Snap struggles in that first quarter. And pressure immediately. Porter breaks away, and we'll see them test the secondary here, but that throw sails out of bounds for the senior quarterback, Tyree Porter.
And obviously a really good decision right there from Porter as the play breaks down. He tries to send the play, keeps his eyes up, and then smartly throws it out of bounds, instead of forcing anything down the field for what would have been another costly turnover for the Rams.
Yeah, we take a look at Porter's stats last year, a little all over the place. 763 total yards, 6 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. That, folks, that is not throwing interception. That is him playing defense, getting interceptions. So this guy plays quarterback, but he's all over the field for these Manual Rams. And more pressure on Porter, and pass is dropped. Looked like it could have gone to 2 receivers there. It looks like the first receiver tipped it.
And that's unfortunate. That was an excellent pass, layering it over the safety and linebackers right into his bucket. You got to come down with that. That's another mental mistake, another moment where a player for the Rams loses focus, and it costs them. Now they are on 4th and 8, I believe, if I'm looking at that correctly.
Yep, 4th and 8.
And they've been aggressive. They got a touchdown on the 4th and 6. This one is obviously a different challenge.
Yeah,
in their own territory, so we'll see.
Stick with that aggressive play call as we see the Manual offense go for 4th and 8 here. And Porter will try and do it himself and gets laid out of bounds. A big hit there from number 13. Andrew Felstad lays a hit on the Manual quarterback who goes sailing out of bounds right into the U High sideline. And I think they're going to try and look at this one, mark it to see if he got there. Porter putting his body on the line for that, and it is called a turnover on downs, as we will see the high-powered U High offense come back onto the field once more.
Yep,
And they won great territory.
They are high-powered. Excellent attempt right there for Porter. Excellent effort there from him trying to
Great effort, yeah.
put his body on line to get his team back in the scoring column, but obviously isn't able to get it done. But this UI offense last year, 43 points per game, could score with the best of them. 72nd ranked team in the entire state. After years and years of not competing for playoffs whatsoever, they flip it around last year and have a really good year. And
here's Cunningham once again working down the sideline. He is impossible to break down, shaking off defenders all the time. Yeah, you mentioned those 43 points a game. They only allowed 16 points per game, so that is a recipe for success. If you're scoring that many points while allowing that many, you're going to win a lot of games.
You'll definitely get to the third round of playoff, which they did last year.
Yep.
Arguably the best year in the last 20
years
so
for sure for program history, yeah.
For university.
Oh, a fumble on the snap, and Kirby will smartly go down on this play.
Maybe a loss of about 2 yards,
yeah.
so not too drastic. But, yeah, their offense led by Cunningham, and Kirby has stepped into this role, as we can see so far, really nicely. Looks like he learned a lot last year watching a quarterback that threw for 43 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And thousands of yards.
And Cunningham wide open again, and he will waltz in for the touchdown. And the Pioneers will score again. And whistles are being blown here. Was there a flag on the play?
An extremely quick strike there.
Yeah.
From Kirby to Cunningham. It's pretty cool to see the chemistry they building so far over the summer, and it's obviously manifesting in this game here with multiple connections. And it looks to be his second touchdown of the night, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So far, basically you've got a touchdown in there untouched. And the thing about Cunningham is his route running is pretty special.
Yeah.
His vision after he catches the ball is pretty special, and his ability to break tackles, take hits, and concentrate and keep the ball through contact. He definitely looks like he is a Division I wide receiver tonight.
For sure.
And he proved it last year as well.
And the thing about him is, like, these aren't tough catches he's making. This dude is wide open for about, like, the nearest defender is usually like 5 yards away from him. So he is just burning this Manual secondary as they will go for a field goal here. And it is up and good on the kick. So the score comes to 36-16. 10:05
I think
to
it's
go
37-16. 37-16. They had 30 points before that touchdown. So we're waiting for that to update a little bit. But, man, this game has flipped on its head pretty quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
A few game minutes ago, it was 16-14 Manual leading U High.
Yep.
And now they are down by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So a few costly mistakes and quick and simple errors have led Manual to be down by 21. And that's been the story of their season last year and the story of their history over the last few years with this program. Small mistakes compounding, leading to multiple scores for the other team. And we'll see how they respond on this drive. They need to respond quickly because U High is rolling, and we will be getting into running clock territory here pretty soon if they do not put a Band-Aid on this wound.
Yeah, and Manuel's had some problems with kickoff so far. We'll see. This is a short kickoff here, and brought in. Players flying all over the place, but it's recovered.
And I think the biggest thing about the reason they've been struggling is because their defense hasn't been able to stay off the field for a prolonged time.
Yeah.
Their offense was quick hitting in the first few drives, and it was being successful. But they have less numbers than U High, and so their players are playing both sides of the field, and they're on the field more than the other opposing team. So the other team is coming in fresher, they're coming in sharper, they're not making mental mistakes, and so they have to be nearly perfect to stay in a game like this against a team coming off of a third round semifinals of the ISHA state playoffs and another fumble snap here.
Yep, but it's picked up and positive yards off the fumbled snap. And what a run there from Griffin Meyer with the tackle there. Griffin Meyer was a player I focused on in my research. The third-year starter, a rare occurrence on this U-High team. Most of the starters usually only play 1 or 2 years, but this is his third year coming back. And he's a dynamic linebacker. 57 tackles last year, 32 solo tackles, and 1 sack, 3 interceptions. And he is the leader of this defense. And leading a defense that doesn't really have a lot of veterans, as we see them make a great stop there for a loss of yards on the handoff by Porter. That was Trenton Marshall with the carry. Last year he had 12 carries for 53 yards, also playing both sides of the ball, with 41 tackles last season on the defensive side. It's always cool to look at the manual stats because all of their players had offensive stats and defensive stats. And we can see that stamina kicking in so far here as we see a pass and a catch for about 4 yards. Nice throw there from Porter, a little low to his receiver. And Wilson with the grab.
Excellent concentration there from Wilson. That pass was definitely low.
Yeah.
With defenders barreling towards him. He was able to concentrate and get a much-needed 4-yard gain for this offense and put them in a third and manageable situation when they desperately need a score. This is 4th down territory, so we'll likely see 2 plays here.
Yeah, for sure.
I could expect Manuel to even run the ball on this play just because they know it's 4th down territory.
Yep.
And they will.
Yep. And I feel like and a fight there. And I think he's going to be a little short of the end zone. I'm surprised Porter didn't take that one himself. Feels like every time he pulls down and runs, it's like almost 5 yards. But he decides to hand that one off on the QB option. Dameron with the tackle. 4th and 1 is usually pretty indifferent for teams. Teams will usually punt on this, but not this Manual team. They will go for it for 4th down as long as it's under 10 yards. We saw a 4th and 9 touchdown earlier in this game. So can the same kind of magic happen here on this 4th and 1? I just assume that they're going to run this ball just to try and get this. And pulls it, and
looks like he got there. They're definitely 4th down territory for Manuel, and they operated as if such on those last 2 plays, giving the ball to their best playmakers and allowing them to go convert the 1st down. And the clock is running, 6 minutes to play, 6 minutes and 50 or so seconds to play in the second quarter. Manuel desperately needs a score on this drive. Let's see how they will execute.
And Tyree Porter's been doing it all for this Manual offense so far, as he did last year, along with Breedlove, who we said transferred. And Porter will throw it, and that was nearly picked off. It looked like it was for a second, but the cornerback could not hang on. That was in his chest. It looked like he brought it down for a second there, but it was incomplete. A risky throw there from Porter. Yeah, Porter is a do-it-all guy for this Manual offense and defense, honestly. Last year, 248 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, 14 catches, 5 touchdowns in the rushing game, along with 433 receiving yards, 2 interceptions. So, a dynamic player on both sides of the ball. and better served as a runner as we've seen so far, as he'll pull it here. And he's going to take off, try to beat the defender on the outside. Does, goes all the way down the sideline for a nice gain and a first down for the Manual Rams as they are getting close to the red zone here. And we see that dynamic offense once again come back, led by Porter, and he is really working the ground game tonight.
When he's been able to catch a snap correctly and get the ball and just get out in space and make a play, the offense has been successful, whether it's him passing on the run, whether it's him running on the edge. He's been able to be very successful and very potent so far despite the score. His ability to get to the edge and win off the edge is pretty excellent. He's able to beat linebackers and corners to their spot whenever and get the best angle for yards.
Oh,
and it's like a false start.
Yeah, false start or offsides. Yeah, it's my bad.
Offsides, a false start for sure.
Yeah.
That's going to push this drive back. Again, Manual is around 45 yards so far in penalties, which is one of the key reasons why they're down by 20 points so far in this game.
Yeah. False start there from the receiver. So a 1st and 15 here for the Rams. As Porter drops back, he's got pressure in his face. That's a lot of pressure. Jumps up and chucks it.
Extremely dangerous play.
Yeah, risky play.
One of those plays where he tries to hold on to the ball to make a play, but thankfully he's able to, for the Rams at least, he's able to throw that away without it being an interception. But it was pretty close to being one.
Yeah.
And that would have been a costly turnover for a team that's trying to rally back into this game. With 5 minutes and 25 seconds left to play the second quarter, Manual trails 36-16.
They've been having a solid possession before that last penalty and that last play right there. A fortunate incompletion for the Rams. As a debate between the U-High staff and the referees here. Can't tell what it's about. An eligible man downfield. Another penalty for Manual, and that's got to be at least their 8th penalty so far in this game.
Just plays you cannot have as you're trying to rally a comeback. Those are drive killers. Those are momentum killers. And at some point, you got to boil it down to coaching.
Yep.
And penalties are definitely more high frequency in the high school game, but when it's only one team committing all the penalties and also snaps like that, it's a lack of focus, a lack of coaching, and I think that these guys are struggling to stay focused throughout games.
Yeah. And we know it's the first week, and a lot of this stuff will get probably ironed out as the season goes on. But it's been a struggle for Manual for a long time now, especially last season, and it's starting out this season. And got a 3rd and 14 coming up here.
Again, it's still 4-down territory because of the score and because they are still in U-High territory. They've been in UI territory for a few plays now and haven't been able to show any success.
As Porter drops set, more pressure on the quarterback, throws it up towards the end zone and brought in it looks like. Can't tell behind the light post, and that looks like a catch. Looks like a catch from our angle. We'll see what the ref calls it.
They're definitely going to reward the wide receiver on that one. What
an
electric play there from Porter.
Wow.
I think he is probably the only reason they're still somewhat in this game. He was under pressure. He was able to evade the defensive end and throw up a prayer that the wide receiver brings down. What a spectacular catch. Mossed him, if I would say so.
For sure. What a play.
And now Manual was back within 2 touchdowns with an opportunity to make it a 2-possession game.
And that was brought in by Micaiah Hill, who was the star receiver for this team last year. A great catch. I mean, just great hands to get that ball in his chest and bring that in for the touchdown.
And the second quarter going a lot faster than the first quarter.
Yep.
First quarter was about 45 minutes. We are at about 20 minutes in real time in this second. And offenses are churning. 36-22, 4 minutes to play. It slowed down. Oh, another fumble.
Fumble. And they'll just call it there on that 2-point conversion.
Opportunity to cut it 12 there. We see another fumble. It's been about 4 or 5 so far from Manual, whether that's botched snaps or just fumbles. And that's really peculiar when you consider, like, there's no rain, no snow. The conditions are pretty perfect for a cool night of high school football, and yet it's just a lack of focus from Manual, which is coming back to bite them. They are just not winning on the margins whatsoever in this game. But you still got to be pretty optimistic with that drive because you scored after not scoring for a few drives there. You cut the lead down to 14.
Yeah, we've got a replay of that touchdown here. A fantastic catch from Bakai Hill. We'll see a replay. Great job by Porter escaping that pressure again. Kind of just lobs up there for Hill to make a play, and that's what Hill does. Too bad we get the light post in the way there, but still got to see a great throw from Porter. And Manual, every time looks like they're down on a possession, they just come back and they score. We've seen it 2 or 3 times now.
It's their aggressiveness they play with. They're playing with like they don't have anything to lose, and at this point they don't.
They really don't.
You have to stay ultra aggressive down 20 points.
Yeah.
They were in danger of a few more costly plays, and they would have been in running clock territory. But they respond with a touchdown drive. Didn't get the 2-point conversion, but you got to be happy with that drive because of the result. The process wasn't great, but at the end of the day, the result was. And so now U-High will look to respond. Their offense has been clicking for about 3 or 4 straight drives with touchdowns.
Yep.
And let's see if they can make it 4 or 5 with this drive.
U-High will take over on 1st and 10 on their own 31. And we'll see if Cunningham will receive the ball on this first throw, or in this first play. There's a lot of Rhett Lynch in the first quarter. It felt like that first quarter was 2 quarters. That first half of that first quarter was a lot of Rhett Lynch in the run game.
And once they went to the run game, they kind of tired him down, and the secondary got tired. Cade Cunningham, not to be confused with Detroit Piston Cade Cunningham, who also wears number 2.
Yep.
Start dominating in the slot, out wide. Over across the middle of the field is where he's done his most damage.
Yeah.
Attacking the middle of that secondary for the Rams, and he's been able to score 2 touchdowns tonight. Let's see if they will go to Rhett or Cunningham on this drive, or someone else.
And it is Cunningham wide open in the middle of that defense again, and he makes the first man miss and gains at least 7 more yards after that great move to have that defender fly by him.
That's been a really big problem for the Rams tonight is tackling. They haven't swarmed the ball well whatsoever tonight, and their defenders have not wrapped up Cunningham or Rhett on these runs up the middle or these quick passes to the middle of the field or underneath in the flat.
Yeah.
It's hard to make an adjustment when your coach does call his first 3 timeouts in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Now you're at the mercy of U-High to continue to run their hurry-up offense and make any adjustments they want to, and you're at the wheel of them having to either call a timeout to get a quick breather and a chance to talk to your team.
Yeah. We'll see if Cunningham goes. They'll go to Cunningham here again. Looks like he's open on every play. But it's Lynch they'll go this time, and he'll get a 10-yard gain on the outside. Lynch last year, who had a great sophomore campaign as a running back, wasn't the RB1, but got the starting spot this year. Averaged 6 yards a carry last year. Such a dynamic runner with the ball. Tough to take down as a running back, and they'll go right back to the line for that hurry-up offense. Just trying to tire these Rams out. As here's Kirby, he'll drop back, he'll lob it up, and broken up. Great defensive play there by the secondary of the Rams. A nice little shot taken there by the Pioneers, who are in great field position and feel like they probably feel like they can get a first down at any time they want. So taking a shot on a 1st and 10, I don't feel like it's a bad play.
Definitely tried to catch Manuel off guard there, taking a shot on the first play of that, not of the drive, but of this down and distance.
And here's Kirby. He'll keep it this time. Is that the same play with Cunningham? And Manuel knows that, guarded that pretty well. So Kirby was able to keep that on the option and take that for a 10-yard gain.
That play has been almost unstoppable tonight because you have the option to throw the ball to Cunningham in the flat. And you have to it's really under the quarterback's discretion whether he wants to keep it and try to beat the defender downfield or give Cunningham the ball and give him space to make a play. And he gets it here, and it's very hard to bring down, but they do bring it down, and it flags out. I wonder what this is for.
Yeah. Holding maybe? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. But I'm also not sure what it could be either.
Yep.
Didn't see anything crazy on that play. Maybe a little bit extracurricular for the tackle. Oh, okay.
Oh, face mask. Okay. Yeah, it did look like Cunningham kind of got off his feet there a little bit, up in the air. So a face mask is called, and that'll be
another penalty.
Yep.
It's been a narrative for the Rams throughout this entire game. Small. Well, not small. Once they start to compile, their big mistakes from the Rams have hurt them so far. Definitely around 60 or 70 yards in penalties, and the screen gets a touchdown for the running back at the backfield, his third of the night, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe that is Lynch's third touchdown of the game and his first receiving touchdown of the year and this game. Lynch last year not just a running threat, but also had 8 receptions for 206 yards last year in the receiving game for the Pioneers, and we see that receiving game come through right there out of the running back, and that's the second screen that they've run, and both times it's been an effective play. And your score gets brought to 42-22 with 2 minutes to go here, 2:14 to go here in this second quarter, as the Pioneers, I believe, will line up for a field goal.
And U-High has not been able to be stopped whatsoever in this game. I don't think they have had a drive. I don't think they've had a drive where they haven't scored so far in this game. Looks like they've been 6 for 7 or 6 for 6 in this game. Manuel has not had an answer whatsoever for them in this game, and they are rolling 43 points before halftime. Reminder: this team scored 64 points against the same opponent to begin the year last year, and this looks like a mirror match to last year almost. They're on pace for about 86 points, a little bit more before halftime. We'll see how much they can score before the half.
Yeah, it's almost eerie how similar the score is. The score last year was 64-26, and that's definitely in play here. And that was 364 days ago, so history is almost repeating itself in front of our eyes, folks, in a dynamic offensive first half from this Pioneers offense.
Yep, U-High looks like they are picking up where they left off from last year's historic playoff run.
Yeah, there were concerns.
Only 2 returning starters, and that's obviously concerns of why.
Yep.
If they can replicate what they did last year, and they look like they have answered the call so far in this first half versus Manuel.
Yeah, for the coaching staff, it's got to be concerned just in terms of experience. I talked to the Manuel coach this week, or excuse me, the U-High coach this week, and he said they were focusing on really playing fast and really getting guys ready for guys who haven't played a lot under the Friday Night Lights, which is basically their whole offense and most of their defense. So I believe so far that they've responded well to the pressure that Friday night brings, and it's clear in the scoreboard that they are looking to continue their successful season last year. We'll see how Manuel responds here. We'll see if Tyree Porter can do what he's been doing all game for this team, hopefully to create something basically on his own, as he will receive the snap here. And another fumbled snap, and Porter picks it up. And Porter brings it for about a 10-yard gain there. Doesn't really matter what type of snap this dude gets. If he brings it down to run, that's going to be about positive gain.
Hall and Porter have been one of Manuel's lone bright spots in this game so far. Hall with the 2 touchdowns, and Porter has been dynamic on the ground and through the air. And he has had to deal with some extraneous circumstances, a few low snaps that he's able to corral, and a few he hasn't been able to, but he's kept his composure and been impactful in the running game and the passing game. Hard to say anything particularly negative about his night tonight.
And another fumbled snap. This time, Porter couldn't catch it and thrown out of bounds. Mekhi Hill once again being targeted. That's definitely Porter's favorite target. Obviously, that dude seems like he's open all the time. And he's got the 2 touchdowns tonight. And a 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Rams after the failed pass attempt.
Yep, but another low snap for Manuel, and I don't know if they don't have anybody to replace that, but at a certain point, it's not on the quarterback for those botched snaps. And also a holding penalty, another penalty. I know the live stream has some issues to begin this game, but before we even went live, when it was 16-14, the Manuel had already had about 4 penalties so far, and that number has to be climbing towards 10.
Yeah,
probably closer to 100 yards. Another botch snap.
And he'll have to pick it up and try and Porter will have to just pick it up and try and make something on his own.
I feel for him at this point. A number of low snaps, a number of botch snaps for him has made his life extremely hard. U-High is rushing towards him, and he's made plays over and over tonight. And on that play, he could not get it done. But as I was saying before the play, their penalty yards are skyrocketing towards 100 so far. And now they are really, really behind the chains, down 21. And they may be giving the ball back to U-High pretty quickly with a chance to score and balloon this lead even more heading to halftime. It's been the penalties, it's been a lack of focus for Manuel. They have the talent on the offense and on the defensive end. They have it. They're a talented team with a lot of great athletes, with a lot of speed, a lot of quickness. But it's the part of football that's the focus, and that starts with the coach down to the players. That has been what's hurt them today.
Yeah, it seems like they almost have the same amount of yards in offense as they do yards lost and penalties. So they're just about breaking even in terms of their offensive production, even though it seems so dynamic. The amount of penalties they've had have just stopped them from getting anything going momentum-wise. We'll see if they can bring that back here. We know Porter every time he touches the ball just has the chance to break open a play, along with Hill on the outside. So we'll see what we can do here. Hill breaks pressure and thrown up and picked off. Hill with kind of a desperation throw there. I don't think the receiver's head was even turned to the ball yet. And picked off, and just adding insult to injury for the Manuel Rams.
What a great play there from Perry to keep his head on the swivel and read the quarterback's eyes and get the interception. Now they have 1 minute and 4 seconds left to add to this score. I don't necessarily know that was extremely negative for Manuel, because they were already on 3rd and 21. You throw the ball into their territory and make them have to have about 50 yards of offense with just a minute left. So it was either going to be a punt or interception. So not too negative in my opinion from Porter there.
Yeah, the interception almost was like a punt that also could have broke free.
And what a great catch right there.
Yeah,
excellent catch there on the sideline from 22.
Yeah, what a great throw there from Kirby, who hasn't really seen much action in the field outside of this. I believe, one of his first starts. And a great catch there on the sideline and a great throw. And they're going hurry up here with 50 seconds and a spike here from Kirby to stop that clock.
Oh, no, they spiked it because there was a man running off field. Now they got another penalty. Great play there, great awareness from U-High to snap the ball while there were I think 12 men on the field.
Yeah, great eye from you, Latif. I believe that's what happened.
Oh,
Illegal substitution. Yep.
close enough.
Yep.
But yeah, that's great coaching. That's great awareness from Kirby.
Yeah.
That's not a veteran quarterback, but that was a veteran quarterback move from him.
Yeah.
And again, more penalties just hurting Manual
Yeah.
as his game wanes. And now they're going to be in even better position with 47 seconds left to grab another score before we head to halftime.
Here's Kirby. He'll drop back. He's got time, as he has had all day. Runs into his own offensive lineman, and a sack here for the Manual defense. And that's our first sack of the night, folks. Something we haven't seen all night. Looks like Kirby kind of got hung up in his own offensive lineman there. So
I think Porter may have got sacked one time, I believe.
oh, yeah, you're right, for sure.
It definitely when they were almost got that safety, he got no gain in the end zone.
You're right.
But that was definitely Manuel's one of their best plays as far as defensively. And unfortunately, we have a man down with the injury here. Hopefully, he's all right. But that's one of their best plays of the night. Could be a great momentum swinging play as they try to stifle UHI's attack.
Yeah,
Here to end the quarter.
only 11 sacks last year for this Manual defense compared to normal University Pioneers 23. So getting one earlier in this year for Manual looks like might have been a cramp down there for the down player. Yeah, he's up and walking now. It looks like it was a cramp. I could tell by the way the trainer was moving his foot around. It definitely was a calf cramp. And the first sack of the year in a stat, according to Max Preps, last year the Manual Rams had 0 QB hurries. I don't know how true that is, but 0 QB hurries. So pressure on the quarterback was not really their strong suit last year. But a sack early in this year has gotta be a positive side to this deficit that they're facing, as Kirby will take the snap on a long way to go here. And Kirby will roll out. Great block there from Lynch and finds a wide open Cunningham. And the big three for the offense for the Rams, for the Pioneers, excuse me, coming to work there. Kirby rolls out right away, and we see Lynch lay a great block on the defender as Cunningham will secure a first down for U-High.
And it looks like he had a few options there on that play. Could have had even more yards, but smartly gets out of bounds. Cunningham with his 7th or 8th catch of the night.
Yep.
And now rolling out, looking downfield,
Kirby
and
finds
another
Cunningham
great catch.
again.
And they try to hurry up to the line.
And I believe there'll be
Cunningham with a sliding catch there.
Yep. And a timeout called here by U-High.
16 seconds left. They have an opportunity to at least get a few more plays off. I wonder at what point do they consider kicking the field goal. It kind of matters how long their range is.
Honestly, if I'm the U-High coaching staff, I'm looking for the end zone here. I mean, there's been no indication of the Manual defense able to stop you, especially from this range. I mean, that's only 20 yards. I feel like every Cade Cunningham catch so far has been 20 yards. So just try and get your receiver the ball, in my opinion, and see if he can do some magic.
And if you're Manual, you want to stop the bleeding before halftime.
Yeah. A stop
it was
here.
16-14. They had a 2-point lead.
Yeah.
Since then, they've been outscored by, my math isn't the greatest, but
27 to 6.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm a journalist, not a mathematician, but we got there.
It's all right. We got it done. Cunningham will line up in the the slot, as Lynch will be in the background, as Kirby will take the snap. And Cunningham will go into motion. And Kirby will throw it, and tipped. Didn't really know where that ball was going. I think it was Lynch out of the backfield. That's where he was going. Just a quick play there. 7 seconds to go. Will they go for a field goal here? And coach calls out a play. I don't think we'll see a field goal on this attempt. We'll see them go for the end zone here with 7 seconds left. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll see one quick play and then another play. But Cade Cunningham lined on the outside. And Cunningham is open. He could have thrown that there. Kirby just didn't see him. And he'll throw it up to Cunningham this time. And ball is tipped and caught. Cunningham, touchdown. I mean, that is unbelievable. Cunningham's wide open, streaking down the sideline. Kirby doesn't see him. Kirby just throws it up to him, and the ball is tipped right into the hands of Cunningham. And this lead is blown wide open. We'll see a replay here. We can see Cunningham going down that sideline. And Kirby just throws a desperation attempt up. The ball is tipped. Everyone assumes the half is over, and Cunningham goes, dives with the ball, catches it for another U-High touchdown.
I don't think that play there is about talent. That play is about focus.
Yeah.
Excellent concentration and hand-eye coordination there from Cunningham to end his amazing half.
Yeah.
I believe he has 3 or 4 touchdowns so far in this game, and U-High hangs 49 points on Manual in the first half. And while the score is very far between the two teams, I think the half comes down to a few key plays of just a lack of focus. Botch snaps, a lost onside kick, penalties. It is a few plays that could have had the game much tighter because the Manual offense has been really good so far outside of 2 drives.
Yeah.
What can't go right for U-High has went right for them so far, and it's exemplified in that last play there with that toe tap touchdown off a tip pass.
Yeah, and I think if you're the U-High coaching staff, you kind of said it, Latif. If they had to write a perfect first half, I don't think they could have wrote a better one than this. I mean, I don't think anything went wrong for them outside of that sack there late in the half.
No, they went 7 for 7 on drives. Did not miss a beat whatsoever.
Yeah, and it's been headlined by the star receiver Cunningham that we mentioned, but also we've seen their running back Rhett Lynch really carry the running load so far. But then on the other side of the ball, we talked about the penalties. The penalties have been hurting Manual, and they have not been able to get anything going so far in that first half. 50-22 is your score. 14 minutes to go left here in halftime. We'll stay here for a little bit. Just a all-around just blowout of a first half for the U-High, for that U-High offense. And we'll take a break here. So 50-22 is your halftime score. I'm Luke Young and Latif Love, joined by me. We'll take a break right here on halftime, right here on Clutch Sports. Welcome back here on Clutch Sports. Still in the halftime break. We're just going to take listen to the live sounds here at Peoria Stadium. 22 is your halftime score. And we've got just a little bit to go here. And I just want to say that this game and all kickoffs are brought to you by Globe Life Insurance. Call 306-367-8508 for any insurance needs. And we've got a little highlight package coming up here for the U-High touchdowns from that first half. And we see this first one. This is the first of the game. Lynch getting his first touchdown of the season there. And then we got another one here. A great play throw on the runner here for quarterback Owen Kirby and a touchdown in the corner of the end zone. And we have Kirby again. I believe this one goes to Cunningham. This is Cunningham's first touchdown of the night as you see him break tackle there. Great separation and score for the first touchdown. We'll see him a lot more in this highlight package. Here's Kirby with a fake to Lynch, and Kirby to another wide open Cunningham touchdown. That was the story of that second quarter, was Cunningham basically wide open on the middle of the field that whole time. And then we saw a Lynch screen pass touchdown for the final touchdown of the half, or excuse me, the second to last touchdown of the half for U-High. And then that final touchdown, which is not pictured in that highlight package, was the tip catch for Cunningham. We've got a minute 45 to go here in this halftime break. I'm Luke Young. Joined with me is Latif Love. Thank you guys for joining us here in Peoria Stadium. It has been a high-powered first half, to say the least. For both teams, honestly. The score may not reflect it, but the scores that Manual has had have been dynamic scores. As teams are starting to enter back onto the field area. For Manual, the way that they're going to cut into this lead has been, it's got to get rid of some of those penalties that we saw in the first half. They were over 100 yards in terms of penalties in that first half. That first quarter was about an hour, and it was due to a lot of those penalties by Manual. But one bright spot for them, though, they did get a sack late in that first half on U-High's final drive. And the second half is about to commence as we have both teams huddled up. And U-High is running back onto the field. And warm-ups are still going on here. Timer has hit 0, but all of U-High is standing in the end zone. So I guess they added just 3 more minutes onto the clock. I wonder what something was going on there. But Latif, what does Manual have to do to, I already kind of mentioned it, but what does Manual have to do to really cut into this lead outside of the penalties?
I mean, the penalties are a big thing, but they had to take care of the ball. Yeah. A lot of botch snaps, and they had to just the penalties just come down. They boil down to attention to detail, just honing in on their focus. They have to be perfect in the second half. They cannot make any mistakes, and they also have to play on the defense end. They have not shown a propensity to stop U-High whatsoever. They are 7 for 7 on their drives. They have to be more physical. They have to get after the quarterback. They have to make anyone but Cunningham or Rhett beat them tonight. And it's been pretty much 3 guys that's beating them tonight with their quarterback, wide receiver, and running back trio, for U-High. That's been the players beating them. That make someone else beat you. And that's easier said than done. But they have to be more physical at the point of attack. They have to be more physical at the line of scrimmage to have any chance to win this game. They're going to have to not only cut all penalties out, but they'll have to, like, undeniably create some turnovers as well.
Yeah.
They don't. The clock won't be on their side in the second half whatsoever. So they'll have to make the game longer by creating penalties, by creating extra possessions. It's a tall task to do. Down by as much as they're down by right now, 28 points, and so I would have loved to be a fly on the wall in their halftime.
Yeah, that would have been an interesting conversation.
Their halftime meeting over here on the side of the field, because I would just wonder what coach is telling them in terms of what they need to do to get back. But I would they would have to be ultra aggressive. That's what I would tell them, because at this point they have nothing to lose. If you want to start the year off with 1-0, you have to create turnovers. You have to be aggressive. You have to cut out your mistakes and play perfect football for one half.
Yeah.
They have to start out like they did to begin this game when they hit that 16-14 lead.
Yep.
Their offense has to be clicking on all cylinders, and their defense as well has to be clicking on all cylinders. And that's going to be pretty hard to do with as many players as they have playing both ways.
Yeah.
So,
and we talked about their stamina issues. They don't have that many players on the roster, so almost everybody has to play two ways. And I know stamina is going to be a factor in this second half. And they were ultra aggressive offensively that first half. We'll see how aggressive they get with their backs against the wall like this. Will we see more deep throws? Will we see a lot more creativity in the offense? It was a lot of just Porter pulling the ball down and trying to make something happen with his legs. So we will see as the kickoff is about to commence for the second half. And U-High will receive the ball. And this kickoff is brought to you by Globe Life Insurance. And kick is up and away, and here come the U-High Pioneers, as I believe that was Lynch who brought that ball in on the kickoff, and he will not go down as they finally drag him out of bounds. Now, do we see the U-High offense get a little conservative here is the question, as Kirby, Cunningham, and crew.
I don't think it will serve them at all to be any conservative. That's how you lose games.
Yep, I agree.
Going back to the infamous 28-3 comeback in the Super Bowl, like 7 or so years ago, the Falcons started running the ball and weren't aggressive when they came out at halftime, and it allowed the Patriots to come back. And that's how it works in a lot of the comebacks. Teams get complacent, they get conservative, and then you allow yourself to relax a little bit and allows the defense to get stops and gain momentum. But I don't think that will happen tonight, because them running the ball has shown not to be conservative, but just have an immense amount of success. First play of the game, they run the ball directly up the gut and get about 15 to 20 yards, and it's because Rhett hasn't been able to be stopped whatsoever tonight. So getting him the ball is not conservative. It's just an objectively correct decision at this point in the game.
Yeah, as Cunningham will touch the ball here after a huge play by Lynch and a flag here. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a horse collar or a face mask or something there, as Cunningham got brought down. Yeah, it'll look conservative in the way that they're handing the ball off, but I feel like Lynch, anytime he touches the ball, is like a candidate for a 15-yard run. So we shall see. Sideline infraction. That's an interesting one. I haven't seen that much in my high school football days. And a 5-yard penalty against Manuel, so not even a minute in the penalties already striking for the Rams. And Kirby will play Cunningham once again. Cunningham makes his first guy miss, second guy miss, and Cade Cunningham will run in for the touchdown. Whistles are blowing.
I think he may have stepped out of bounds.
I think, yeah, right here, right at the 3-yard line, might have stepped out of bounds. Yep. 5-yard line. Good eye, Latif. But it looked like it should have just been a 5-yard gain. Should have been the first defender bringing him down, but he makes the first 2 miss. And I think we'll see Lynch get the ball here. Nope, he'll hand it to the other back. And in for the score is U-High.
Everyone getting a little taste of the end zone tonight.
Yep.
But an effortless drive for U-High out of halftime. They are not stopping whatsoever. They scored 64 points in this game last year. They are at 56 with a lot of time to go.
Yeah.
We are entering running clock territory, and I think they'll be going for 2 here.
Yeah.
Keeping their foot on the gas.
Hayden Washam, the junior back, 4 carries for 51 yards last year, and he scores his first touchdown of his varsity career, I believe. He had no last year, so. And the field goal is up and good for U-High. And 57-22 is your score. 10:39 to go in the 3rd quarter. So we still got a lot of football to play, folks. And this game has been busted wide open by this U-High offense. So we'll see how Manuel chooses to respond to another touchdown by the Pioneers. And kick is up and picked up and brought back here by the Rams and brought down around the 18-yard line. I believe that was Xavier Williams getting that ball on the kickoff. So we get our first look at the Manual offense here in this second half. A pretty aggressive offense in the first half by many standards. That level of aggression is going to have to be raised in this second half for them to really have a chance at any hopes of a comeback. So we'll see Tyree Porter on his first snap of this second half. Porter, another low step, hands it off, and a fumble on the handoff. So more troubles controlling the ball.
And for anyone tuning in just now, if you just turned the game on, that's probably their 7th or 8th fumble so far.
Yeah.
Which is really precarious because, again, excellent conditions
Yeah.
for a Friday night football game. Not too hot after the sun went down whatsoever, so thankful for that. But no rain, no snow, not really cold or anything like that. So for there to be this many fumbles, this many botched snaps is very, very interesting to say the least for Manual. And it's derailed any chance they had to come back in this game. Now they're behind the chains again on this drive. Another hurdle to overcome in their attempt to make a historic comeback, it would be at this point.
Here is Porter. He'll hand it off and stop short. About a 5-yard gain there by the running back. So a positive play there. Just something that's been few and far between for this Manual offense. And 3rd and 8 look here for the Rams. Definitely probably going to see a deep pass here. At least a pass. Probably outside the numbers and deep. So Here is Porter. Porter feeling pressure once again. I feel like he's been pressured on every single play. He snaps the ball, and incomplete. And I don't see a reason why they don't go for it here. They did it last half, and yeah, they're in a bad spot, but they really don't have much to lose here.
Yeah, they've been aggressive all night, and it definitely should continue with the scoreboard looking at it as it is. At this point, I think you want to just build some confidence for next week.
Yeah.
You want to practice some plays that you know you're going to run pretty frequently, and you want to see who could potentially be have a big impact as the season wanes. So, if I'm them, I'm going for it on every fourth down,
sure.
no matter where you are, because not only do you need the yardage, it can give a player some confidence, some momentum into going into the season. Any play can have a drastic impact on your season in terms of maybe not a scoreboard tonight, but building confidence as the season goes on.
Yeah, for sure. And a timeout called here. That was timeout by Manual. They took all three of their first half timeouts in the first quarter. I wonder if we'll see a similar strategy here in the third quarter. Fourth and 8 we've got here, folks, and we will see the Rams line up for a punt. So a little out of the ordinary for this coaching staff to call a punt in this situation, but I think the field position plays a factor in a near block punt, inches away from a blocked punt, and U-High will just let it roll, take some time off that clock.
Interesting decision right there from Manual. They haven't punted whatsoever. They haven't punted the second time punting so far, and the other time they were directly in their end zone.
Yep.
So with the scoreboard looking like it is, I guess they wanted to make it a little bit harder for U-High to get another score here with the punt. And honestly, all things considered, was a pretty good punt.
It was. So U-High will line up on their own 28. No, excuse me, wow. They're 35. 35-yard line. As Kirby takes the snap and hand it off and push forward by Lynch, as he will get 8 yards on the carry. Yeah, 6-yard gain there, excuse me. And U-High sticking with that hurry-up offense, even though they're still up in this ball game by 35, as Lynch will get the ball again, and a fumble. And a defensive play here by Manual. Lynch had the ball taken away, and so we will have a turnover here. So a little life brought into the Manual defense as we have a player down for injury.
One of the only mistakes by U-High so far tonight. They've been flawless to start. That's their first turnover of the game, their first time not scoring on a drive throughout this whole game, and I hope that Manual player is doing okay here down on the field. But on the bright side, they do get the ball in plus territory with a chance to bring this lead down and give themselves a chance to make a comeback.
Yeah, his helmet did come off on that play, so I hope everything is all right. And he is up and standing, and an applauder rises in the crowd. So that is good to see. He's walking off. And after a rough first half defensively and a rough start to the second half defensively for Manual, they come up with a fumble recovery. So
Definitely a good sign for them because everything had been going U-High's way so far in this game. So definitely good for them to get a break, and let's see if they can capitalize on their turnover with the score here to bring the game under 30 points.
Yeah, Latif, you were talking about coaches trying to find something that they can bring into next week. They can look at on film. That's definitely something they can look at for a positive play there. Forced fumble is always something good for a defense. It's been that and the sack late in that first half that have been the bright spots for this defense, along with a great play early in that first quarter defending a fade in the end zone. And we'll see Porter with some good field advantage field position for the first time in a while. And he'll go deep on this first throw and right through the hands. I was about to say touchdown. And it was dropped in the end zone.
But that was a beautiful ball from
Yeah.
Porter right there. Nice,
Wide
tight
open.
spiral. Good touch on the pass, right in the bucket. Excellent speed there from the wide receiver to blow past his defender. But he could not corral it in. Lost focus for a second, and that's been one of the themes. Loss of focus in important moments, whether it is a snap, whether it is earning a penalty, whether it is recovering an onside kick. It's been moments where, in the biggest moments of this game, Manual has lost focus.
Yeah.
And that's been a theme of this game, and that's the reason why they're down by 30 points.
See if they go deep again this play, and Porter keeps it, trying to make a play with his legs, throws it up and knocked out of the air. So just like that, there's a 3rd and 10 after a dropped wide open ball in the end zone. That's just kind of in the story. But just a lack of focus, like you said, Latif, has brought them to this 35-point deficit. So a 3rd and 10 from the U-High 38-yard line here for the Rams. As we see Porter take the snap and immediate flag down.
Dead ball foul. Illegal procedure against the Rams. 5-yard penalty.
Illegal procedure against Manual. So a 5-yard penalty brings it to 3rd and 15. Second and 15, excuse me.
Another penalty brings them behind the chains and makes it harder for them to convert on 3rd and 4th down. I think this is 4th down territory.
Yeah.
Coming off that fumble, and you're needing a score right here, so they'll get 2 plays to get the first down. Let's see what the first play is.
And
right into a sack.
Porter tries to create with his legs right into a sack.
I think his pocket presence has been pretty good so far.
Yeah, for
Been
sure.
navigating the pocket pretty well under pressure and being able to make plays in or outside the pocket. But I think the defense end right there got on his blind side, and as he tried to step up into the pocket, he was swallowed.
And a sack there by Samuel Karun. And we are looking at a wide open deep ball end zone shot for Manual. Has now turned into a 4th and 17 try to keep this game alive. How fast things can change for an offense. Just a lack of focus can turn into just a scrambling possession. As Porter's way back there trying to create with his legs, is creating with his legs, throws it, and tipped up and incomplete, excuse me. Did have an open receiver downfield, but that's just a little too far for a high school quarterback to throw that ball.
Excellent play, though, right there
Yeah.
by avoiding the pressure, evading the defenders, and giving his receiver an opportunity at least to make a play. And we saw a play like that earlier in the first half, and it came down for a touchdown.
Yeah, and it wasn't a duck either. That was a spiral. That was a great ball thrown on the move.
Yeah, Porter is an excellent athlete. with his ability, his arm talent, and his ability to make plays with his arm from different angles, and his ability to throw under pressure has really popped so far in this game. Despite the score, he has, I think, been one of the better players on the field for either team so far.
For sure.
Definitely can make that claim with his performance tonight. Hasn't definitely always resulted in great offense for the team, and they are not getting the exact results, but he has flashed big playability. He has flashed talent on both sides of the ball today. So if you're going to pull anything out of that game as a positive for him, I think Porter has been one tonight. But you're right, things have definitely changed here pretty quickly.
As Lynch will receive the ball here, and a great stiff arm just put a guy on the ground for a first down run.
Yep, since the first quarter, I believe U-High has outscored Peoria Manual 43-6.
Yep.
It was 16-14 near the end of the second quarter, and then U-High found their stride, and they haven't looked back since, looking to add on to their lead here.
As Lynch will take it again. He's got so much open running space.
I think at this point, Manual was a little bit demoralized. They're definitely a little bit tired.
Yeah.
Not seeing a lot of aggression to swarm the ball and try to make a tackle. When you guys are just throwing these blocks, they're not really fighting to disengage from the block. And when you're down by this much in the third quarter and your players are tired after playing both sides of the ball, I understand it. A lot of hands on the hips.
Yep.
But hopefully they can find a second win and definitely try to put some more good plays on tape.
Yeah,
in this first week.
Another timeout called here for Manual. And players coming out of the timeout huddles now, and 5:26 to go here in this third quarter as we resume action. I assume Lynch is going to take it, but look how far Cunningham is lined up back there. Look at this set. I think we've seen this play before. They're going to fake it, and then, Cunningham was guarded there, so Lynch got it, and he's going to take it a long ways, and he'll bring it into the red zone for U-High. Saw that play earlier where Cunningham did get it. He runs full sprint, catches the ball, and he's got a lot of speed heading up in there. But this time it was well guarded by Manual, and Lynch received the ball on the option.
They run that play to success because it gives you three options. Got the flat, got the running back or the quarterback can take it on the run. And
Kirby will take it on the run this time and is shoved out of bounds.
4:40 left in the third quarter as U-High tries to add on to their lead. And I think another 7 points here would tie their mark from last season, give them 64. This time, Manny only has 22 points, and it'll be a mirror to what it was last year. A big hit there from the Rams on the wrench.
I can't believe that the Manual sideline is celebrating on that too. I don't know. I feel like if you're down 35, you should not be allowed to celebrate. But a big hit there on Lynch.
You got to be able to take the small victories.
Yeah,
you know?
I guess you're right. In a 3rd and 2 look here for U-High. And The snap to Lynch, gets it one more time, and that's going to be a touchdown. So after he takes the big hit, takes the ball and runs it in for a touchdown for U High. 63-22 is your score. A high scoring game tonight here at Peoria Stadium.
And it's pretty much the same issues from last year.
Yep.
When their offense inevitably slows down a bit, the defense isn't able to generate stops for them to keep them in the game. And U High rose to a 41-point lead before the fourth quarter even starts. And another player is down for the Rams. Hopefully he's okay. They've had a few players down so far in this game, and I think it's becoming physically taxing to play as much as the defense has played tonight.
For sure.
So I hope he's okay. Football is a grueling sport.
So Peoria Stadium is a great venue for high school football, as we've seen tonight. A great turf field, also a soccer field for the high schools around the area. But to our right, a brand new dome has just been built for, I believe it's indoor soccer fields. But it's kind of cool, just like looking over there, there's this giant dome full of soccer fields. So it's cool to see the Peoria Public Schools building new stuff for their high schools. I'm pretty sure that's brand new. So a great venue here in Peoria Stadium, and right next to it, a cool indoor athletic facility.
No, it's been pretty cool to see how far this field has came as well. The renovations with the field has been amazing.
Yeah.
My first year working with Clutch is about 4 years ago now. During my freshman year at Bradley, and the field has made major improvements. The field was uneven. It was like a big hump in the middle of the field when I first got here.
Yeah.
And it was a grass field as well, pretty unkept. The stands definitely needed some work, but now they have steel stands, and they're painted, and the steps are in order as well. So, and the track has been redone as well.
Yeah, track looks nice.
So the Peoria field has went under some renovations here over the last few years, and it's been a great addition to this team to make this field more safe for the players and for the fans, and they can bring out some big crowds here, especially when Peoria High is competing for state championships year in, year out.
That's right. And a extra point attempt here for U High is up and good. Their extra point kicker has been super accurate all night. Kind of shoots a bullet kick, but has not missed one yet. So 64-22 is your score. We're getting to a running clock now that U High is up 40. Six-yard run by Rhett Lynch was that score.
Hey, man, this game really broke open. It was 16-14, and then they scored 16 points.
Yep.
In about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
U High, the Pioneers did, and really had themselves a 14-point lead going into the second quarter, and they went down here from there. But I'm the coach. As we're looking at film, I'll probably play a lot of the plays we succeeded with in the beginning of the game, and then a little bit of what we can improve on in this game, because there's so many things we can point to, but it can really just boil down to penalties and mental mistakes. That if they clean those things up, they can compete in games. Yeah. They can compete in games. They can. They have the talent. They have the athletes. Have a special player at quarterback, a special player at wide receiver, really talented running back. Manuel does. They just had to clean up those mental mistakes, keep themselves in games, and give themselves a chance against teams that have more players and maybe a bit more talented than them.
Yeah, and it was 30-22, and Manuel had the ball, and they were in that game for sure. And since then, it has been all U-High outside of that fumble we saw on that that second to last U-High
And another fumble there, too, as well.
Another low snap. It's got to be at least 20 tonight. 20 low snaps. Feels like every single snap has just been at Porter's knees, and he hasn't been able to, like, corral and have a good, like, set pocket at all, and that's why we see that pressure coming, because it's that extra second where he has to grab it and pick it up. It's just been hurting him all night. And he's so dynamic, he can break away from 3 or 4 defenders. But if you gave him time, as that's probably what they're going to work on.
I would imagine practice, 45 minutes of practice on Monday may just be snapping the ball and getting reps with his center. That could be a main focus of practice, I would imagine so.
And there we actually had a pretty clean possession there for Manuel. All the good snap, time for Porter to throw, just threw it at the ground.
3rd and 7 from the 25-yard line.
And 3rd and 7 on the Manual 24. As Porter will pull it down, throw it up deep, and out of bounds goes the football, as they will face another 4th down. I'm probably going to go for this one as well, I'd assume. Got nothing to lose at this point.
4th down for the Rams.
And definitely was out of bounds, not an accurate pass, but was impressed with how he evaded pressure there.
Yep.
And got the ball out. I think Porter has a really good arm.
And Porter will drop back once again, has time, will throw this time over the middle of the defense, and it's picked off.
His second pick of the night.
Yep. Just added salt to the wound at this point, as an aggressive tackle out of bounds. Definitely some anger being taken out on that one, and some words are exchanged near the U-High sideline. And we see that interception. Second one for Porter tonight. It was not a bad idea on that 4th down to try and throw it deep. Almost acting like a punt, but usually on those you don't want to return. And that was a big return there from U-High. And we'll talk about U-High's history a little bit. Last year, 2023 broke the 6-year playoff drought for U-High, going 7-3 in 2023. 2024 they go 10-3, winning 3 playoff games for their conference, and then the last 2 seasons they have been 17-6. So a step up improvement after a long playoff drought, long winning season drought. And last year, as we mentioned, won 62-28 at home against this Manual team just 364 days ago. So it's got to feel like deja vu for a lot of these players and coaches.
Yeah, but hopefully you can, just because this is a mirror of what happened last year, doesn't mean you had to follow, the same exact script with only winning one game. And
exactly.
There's some positives to pull from this game. I think your passing offense at the start of the game was pretty potent.
Yep.
Your playmakers were able to make plays at the beginning of this game, and I think that you can compete with anyone offensively. It's just that you cannot make mistakes offensively. You cannot make things that can be you can't make things under your control. You have to handle all those things under control. Penalties, snaps, all those type of things are under your control. They don't have the margin for error against a team like this to make those mistakes, and they probably won't have that margin for error at all in the conference that they play in with some of the teams that they're going to face this year. So they got to clean it up, and then they'll be competitive this year and be in games and be a bit better than what people think they could be this year. But they lost a playmaker in Amani Breelove right before the season started.
Yep.
Which hurt them as well. So
yeah,
the school as a whole has been going through a lot. So
yeah, and for U-High they have a new quarterback in Brady Wetstein, 6'1" QB sophomore, getting some late reps here in this fourth quarter. Good experience for the young QB. And he will throw one up, and that's going to be a pass interference. Yep. Something.
Another penalty for the Manual Rams. I wish we had a way to really track how many penalties they had, because it's, I think, bordering on 15.
Yeah.
Just from my recollection tonight. And there's been plays like that where they've greatly impacted the game, where that would have just been a incomplete pass potentially, and now they get a fresh set of downs and 5 yards or so, or 10 yards or so, I'm sorry. 9 yards.
So a 4th and 1, they will go for it here on the Manual 22. And they are going to keep it and throw, and pass is incomplete.
Interesting call there from U-High. I think they definitely could have got that on the round, but maybe want to give the quarterback some more experience, some more reps passing the ball, and try to catch the Rams off guard with throwing the ball there on 4th down.
I think the scoreboard is wrong. We're looking at the scoreboard. I believe it was wrong.
Oh.
Wait. Yeah, no, it was right. Yeah, it was right. Okay. Because the offense was staying out there for a little bit. It looks like they were.
The pass interference didn't give them automatic first down, just gave them, I think, 5 yards or so.
Yeah.
And that's how it works in college. I mean, high school, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it is first down Manual. They have the ball on the Manual 22. So a latch ditch offensive effort for the Rams here. Porter will drop. Nope, he'll hand off here. And the running back is brought down at about the 30 or the 25-yard line.
And it's crazy to see just 6 points from Manual after that first quarter, where they were clicking on all cylinders offensively. And I think that this is really a testament to how much your defense and offense has to just gel together. Because if you're not producing offensively and they're always on the field, or you're turning the ball over and they have to stay on the field, it can just literally directly affect the flow of the game and directly affect the other side of the ball. And their offense was clicking, but they were off the field for a long time. They were off the field for 8 or so minutes of game time, and probably 15 minutes of actual time.
Yeah.
And that inactiveness, I think, hurt them a little bit, because they started this game clicking all cylinders offensively, and that definitely hurt them.
So just under 7 minutes to go here. 64-22 is your score. Manual faces a 3rd and 6 to keep this drive alive. Pass to the outside. Nice way to make 2 defenders move right there, or 2 defenders miss. But it ends up being a negative play anyways, and it'll be a 4th down here for Manual.
number 27, Wesley Thompson, and number 85, Brandon Bozar. Loss of 5 on it. 4th down and 11 for the Rams.
4th down and 11 here for the Rams, and they will go for it on their own 20. And a deep throw is broken up and nearly picked off. Probably a good decision he didn't catch that.
Quarter's pass intended for Hill.
And they will get the ball on their own 20.
4th down, the ball goes over.
Or excuse me, on the Manual 20. U High will retake it. Great field position once again for the Pioneers. Maybe put some more points up on the board. So we'll see a pretty conservative U High offense here, but I'm going to see a lot of handoffs coming in this last 5 minutes.
They might air it out. They're this far into manual territory,
Yeah.
so
We might
we'll
see. A
see.
pass. I also think their ground game might be pretty effective. Might be effective enough for them to just hand it off 5 times and probably will score a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think they'll be running the clock out here just because of how
Yeah.
potent their running game has been so far. So
Yeah.
you're right. They may run the ball, but they might get in on like the 3rd attempt or so. So
Yeah.
we will see. And that will eclipse their mark last year of 64 points with a score here.
Another handoff up the middle. And this one pretty well defended there by Emmanuel. They know it's coming, so they are probably packing that defensive line.
Gain of 2 on the play. 3rd and 3 for the Pioneers.
And we've got a 3rd and 3 coming up here.
Okay, Gabe, I'm rocking it. I'm ready for those shots. Starting.
And they will pass this time to the outside to the running back. And I don't know if that was enough for a 1st down.
Looks about 1.5, 2 yards. Probably gonna be a little bit short there.
Pass is complete to Hoffman. He's tackled.
Hoffman with the reception.
3 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the game.
4th and 3 for the Pioneers.
U High's on the verge of a resounding win in their first game after a 4A IHSA semifinal berth for the first time in over 20 years. They're making that far in the playoffs. And their encore so far has been very, very successful. Very excited to see how this team is going to perform throughout this year. They look to be on the path to another 10-3 type of year.
Yeah, for sure.
Offsides the call against the Rams. 5 yards.
And another penalty, the story of the day for Emmanuel. Strikes again, another penalty in the waning moments of this game.
From the manual 8-yard line.
And another handoff, and this one is stopped short, probably about a 2-yard gain there.
Hoffman, the ball carrier, is tackled by 75. DJ Brooks. No gain on the play. 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line.
And this game is just about over here, folks. I appreciate you guys dealing with our technical difficulties early on, but thank you guys for sitting and watching this game for us. Looks like a handoff, another handoff here, and it'll go all the way in for a touchdown for U High. I believe that was Hoffman once again. scoring his touchdown. So we see a 70-point game. 70-22 is your final score. I mean, that is just unbelievable. I watched a lot of football in my life. I haven't seen many 72 games or 70-point games on any level. So,
And doing it in just in under 48 minutes of action
yeah.
is equally as impressive.
And the
And,
field goal kicker.
if there was no running clock, they could have made that score even higher.
Yeah, even if it was just a semi-close game, if they had to keep scoring the ball to stay in it.
Great
Yeah,
catch there.
We could have seen by the ball boy on the field goal. Yeah, that was nice. 71-22, I believe, is probably going to be your final score here, folks. Don't know what Manuel's going to do with the last minute, but who knows? We have seen them look great offensively. We've seen them struggle also on the offensive side of the ball, but so we got a minute 17 here to go.
And if you're Manuel here, you want to get a few positive plays just to
Yeah.
close the game, close the night. Any victory is a moral victory at this point.
I just feel like this game is a lot different if they cut down on the penalties, number one, and number two is get some good snaps to their quarterback, because
It just throws out the process of play. It throws out the
Yeah.
time of the play.
Yeah.
Receivers could be open by that time he catches the ball and surveys the field, and also by that time he catches it, the low snap, there are defenders barreling towards him, trying to bring him down. And then he had a number of plays where he evaded those defenders and made plays. Got a touchdown on one of those plays. And so I think Porter did all he could early on in this game. As the game waned, he made a few more mistakes, and another botched
kickoff and a fumble. Oh, a lateral.
I mean, why not at this point?
Yeah.
But just mistakes, just small mistakes that compounded and became a really large mess in lieu of a near 50-point blowout loss.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the season. So it's a big loss, but there are just a few things to focus on. It's not like everything went wrong for them. It just gotta work on snapping the ball. Got to work on proper technique so you don't get a lot of penalties. Just focus things, and that can be worked out in practice, ironed out in practice. If you're going to lose, just let it be a team being better than you, not you killing yourself by 1,000 cuts. And those 1,000 were penalties. Another one.
I just can't believe the refs are calling that at this point in this stage of the game, but I guess they kind of have to. It's their job.
I wonder, are they going to even let them run another play because the clock is running out now?
Yeah. And that'll be it, folks. Your final score is 71-22. We saw a dominant U-High performance against the Emmanuel Rams here at Peoria Stadium here in Peoria, Illinois. We thank you very much for joining us here tonight on Clutch Sports. Sorry about the early technical difficulties once again, but we thank you very much for joining us here at Peoria Stadium. I'm Luke Young and Lateef Love saying goodnight, and thank you for joining us here on Clutch Sports.